Alright, it's time for another video. I finally got to use this P-TAC unit for heat. It gets too cold to sit on the front porch. And I tell you, this thing will run you out of this thing. It's got that 7.5 kW. And I won't have to run this thing much. It's been great. Alright. Alright, well, we got that deck covered up, took all the railing off, built me some walls, and I moved a lot of stuff out of the barn. And this is going to be storage, and you know, down the road 5 or 6 years I'll turn into a grandbaby room when they get around to having kids. But I told them there's as young as they are, there ain't no damn hurry. And got my door framed up, did the wall over there. Now over here, that short piece of wall on that side is going to be completely taken out, and I put the studs right there with the studs where that door is at, so it'll be a nice even wall right there. I didn't want anything to protrude out. Looked like it was bodged together. Alright, our landing is done. I got to finish priming it. I wasn't going to put blue paint on it yet, but I had a brand new gallon of paint, and I bumped that sumbitch and threw a bunch of paint on the deck, so I just had to get it flat. I'm working on my steps. I got to put one more coat on these things. Saw these 4x4s once I get my railing angle set, and then put down my treads. I'm going to use timber screws. They work a hell of a lot better and hold that wood down. And of course, my treads are all going to be painted like this stuff: primer, 2 coats of oil. So that's going to work out good. All right. I finally got this end of the house painted, and I painted what I added. And that primer and oil based paint, man, that's the only way to go with this stuff. You just don't want fog or mist to get on it until it's dried out for 5 or 6 hours, because it'll take the shine off of it. And with the weather being cold and we getting fog and stuff, I got to have a day and a half for this stuff to dry before we get anything like that. But it's turned out good. I think I'm gonna like it. Now, I haven't primed any of this yet because I'm letting up all the caulk dry, and I brought it up 3/8 at the bottom, and I'm putting some of that White Lightning in there, and I'm gonna run me some of that white vinyl 1x4 trim at the bottom, and I'm gonna caulk that in real nice, and then that way I ain't gotta worry about anything rotten. I gotta finish painting all this stuff up. Alright, on my front door, you can see I put a lot of wood right there where the hinges are going to be at, the door lock. I haven't done it this side yet. I've got to cut in a dog door. That's where the critters are going to come in and out, and I got a big old giant one for my big dog, and do that. And I've got wood there, and the reason I'm doing that, I'm getting what well, some of you guys won't know what I'm talking about. Katie bar the door. I'm going to put me some brackets on each side of this door and put me a piece of wood or metal. I may, if I can find one that's already built, I'll do it. I do that for 3 reasons. Shit hits the fan. Somebody try to get in the house and do a home invasion. And something that I worry about, but I talked to a sheriff's guy about no-knock warrants at the wrong address. And they said, oh, that hardly ever happens. That's real rare. I said, well, I don't want you guys to get in here and shoot my big dogs. So they won't be able to kick this door in. They'll be out there pounding until I holler through the door and tell them I'm putting my dogs up. They probably won't like it, but I don't give a damn. But that's why I glued everything together. And I'm going to put long screws on my hinges, my door locks, all that stuff. And my deadbolt's going to be a long throw one where it goes into the stud. You drill a hole, and then you put another metal plate on it. So that'll, it's just, you know, you got to worry about stuff like that. All right. on this siding, I had some crazy cuts that I had to make. I want to measure that out around a $43 piece of siding. So I took me some strips of Luan, glued them together and stuck me some nails in there until they dried, and then I transferred that pattern over to my sheet, and worked perfect. And like I said, I did not want to waste a sheet of siding, and this had a bunch of angles and notches, things like that. So I got that idea. I saw a guy was going to make a countertop. I think it was granite or some of that plastic stuff, and he did the same thing. He laid that all out, glued it together, and then took it with him and made a perfect pattern. So I thought, well, hell, I can go ahead and do the same thing when I need to. All right. Since I added that front bedroom and we're going to build a deck on the side of the house, I've got to go and get, that's a 8 or 16 if you use them little split breakers. And I think I can get one that's probably 12, and it's the same size box, because right up top you can see where they had spots for it, but they didn't do it. So I'm going to take this breaker box out, and hopefully they got the same size one, because then I can break all the wires loose, pull it out off of that conduit. Now this one won't go to waste, because I've got a shed that I just did some temporary wiring. I'm going to go ahead and use this breaker box in there. Now I'm not going to use much of it, but you know, that was just like a $90 breaker box, so I'll get some use out of that. So that don't scare me. Alright, let me try this again. My camera just shut off. Alright, well, I got to work on that bedroom back there and get Luan, ceiling, and we're just going to paint the floor right now. I got some property for sale. I'm going to paint my Suburban and get the place carpeted and buy appliances. But putting all that stuff up front, man, has made a big difference. I have so little that I got to move around, and once the bed gets put back there, then we're going to slide this out front. Now you notice I got a big old giant TV set. Black friend of mine, he bought a big old flat screen. He wanted to hang it on the wall, so he gave me that one. Now that's one of them old DLP projectors. It takes a bulb in the back. I had to buy an $80 bulb. But that helped me out, because now I know 82 inch is too damn big. That's for a big room, so I'll probably end up getting like a 55. Will be perfect. But we're going to use this thing until we're ready for that. But right now we sit out here when it's cold, watch TV or listen to music. So it's worked out good. And I think this is the last one. And like I always say, y'all have a good one.